Today I just received the part for it, a brand new boot, and we're going to continue on the assembly. Before we get going here, I'm going to show you the part number for that manifold. It's part number 1137-141-2201. So to start with, I'm just going to clear out the intake manifold, and next I'm going to insert the boot on top there. So when you install the boot, you want to make sure that this part of the boot is pointing toward the front of the saw. And you want to make sure that this notch here on the boot goes beside the notch that you see down on the bottom here. So to install the boot now, just basically move the handle up a bit like that. And again, line up the notch toward the front and put it on top. And just basically with your hands, work it down on the intake. So I'm not going to use a screwdriver because I don't want to puncture the new boot, so I'm just going to push it in with my fingers. You want to get right in there and push down. So there, I've got the boot on. If you want to make sure if it's on right, just pull it up a bit, and if it doesn't come off, it's on tight. And I've also got the little notch down there lined up at the front, as you can see right here. So now I'm going to put the cover, the clip that holds the boot to the chainsaw body. This little clip here goes this way up, this clip goes up, and then just push on the handle and insert it, and then push down on this clip with your fingers. It's preferred that you do it with your fingers because if you use a screwdriver and it slips, it could puncture a hole in the intake boot. So once the clip is flushed, it's on good. So what we need to do is to insert the boot, which is basically like a grommet on this plastic piece, in through this hole, and do this with your fingers. Just by pushing it in. And then just push in like that, and she should come out. And this here has to go over the hole right here. So there it is. The next thing we're going to put on is this screw here, torque screw, which goes at the bottom right hand side of the handle. I'm going to put a bit of Loctite on this screw. So that's in good. The next thing you want to do is make sure that everything is in order here, like all the fuel lines and stuff like that. You want to make sure everything's where it should be, and it is. So I'm going to put this cover on there. Like that. So now we're going to reinstall the whole throttle mechanism. This piece here, the switch part, should still be in there. If it has come off on you, this is how it's supposed to be in there. So here's a look at how it's supposed to be in. Now you want to grab the throttle trigger and the safety mechanism. Insert the spring like this with the part of the throttle trigger in your left hand, and then insert them, the bottom pins here, into these holes here. There's one here and there's one there. So do it all in one motion if possible, like this. So this is how it goes in. Make sure the spring is on that clip in the rear of this. So here's a closer view. You can see that the spring goes under here on that clip. That this part here is there, like that. So when you depress the safety, it allows the trigger to go in. So that's in good. The next thing we're going to put in now is part of the throttle linkage here. So when you have this part in your hands, there's two pins. You want to hold it like that. The next thing you want to do is to grab the part, insert it from in behind where the carburetor goes, and this little pin will go in a hole here. And just leave it down like that. While you're doing this, this is the back end of the part. The throttle linkage is just going to hang like this. And that's what you want for now. Just leave it like that. So now that you've got that in, the only thing left to put on for the linkage is this other part of the linkage here. And this part goes this way. The round end part goes at the back, and you may have to bring in the other part of the linkage we just installed. Put that in like that. And then on this side here, it's going to go in that little hole here, just like that. And you can try it out by holding it down and trying it just to make sure so it does work. You can put a bit of lithium grease on all the joints. Now that I'm satisfied with that, I'm going to put the top cover of the handle on. You want to go really gently for that. Just wiggle it in like that. So now there's 3 torque screws to be put on. Don't over tighten them because you're just basically screwing into plastic. So that all seems good. Now we're at the back of the carb again. The next thing to insert is this collar, which goes on these bolts here like that. And it's going to wrap around the intake boot. Just like that. Next thing you want to put in is this little collar, and it goes right here inside the boot. And you just basically push down on that.